Here I am with Ken Hunstead of Water Well Supply, and we're doing a well production test. We're using the 5-gallon bucket, trying to determine how many gallons per minute or how long it takes to fill up that 5-gallon bucket. We can measure that every 15 minutes, and it'll eventually give us how many gallons per minute over a time frame. Hi, Dick Keenan, Keller Williams Realty, the Keenan Carter Group. We had an opportunity to meet with Ken Hunstead from Water Well Supply, and he was doing a well production test for one of our listings out in the country. And while I sat there, I enjoyed chatting and getting to know a little bit more about wells, and I'll try to share my information that I learned from him. So when you're drilling a well, first of all, you kind of have to know what the geology is, and that's when you get a geologist out there, or some areas have specific geology, and to find out where the best location to drill is. To start drilling the well, of course, they'd have to drill a hole, and usually the hole that they drill is about a 9-inch auger that drills down. Once they get the hole drilled, they will then come back as they're augering the soil out, you'll maybe have one section of the soil and gravel. Maybe it's brown clay, maybe it's clay and gravel, maybe it's gravel, rock, or maybe gray shale. From their experience, they'll know how deep to get the well hole to determine where the majority of the water is actually at. There is not a big pond down here that is just that they're sucking out of a lake underneath the water. It is actually flowing through the earth. After they have the hole drilled, then they come in with a casing. That casing is usually 5 inches or 6 inches in diameter. The larger diameter, the larger the submersible pump that they can put into the well. After they have before they put the casing in, there is actually slits inside the casing that allows water to seep into the casing. Around the outside of the casing is actually sand, Monterey sand, or gravel, depending again on the soil that they're dealing with. The submersible pump, they'll drop down all the way down to near the bottom of the well, depending. And at the top here, 50 feet from the top is all cement. So they'll cement this whole section here around the casing so that there isn't any surface water that can actually get into the well. So all the wells being pumped down here. So it's not like that there's a big pond down here. Instead, the water actually flows from various directions, and when it hits the well, it then goes in and seeps in through the sand and then into the casing where the pump is. The water line may ultimately be 30 feet above where the actual pump is. So once they have the pump submersed, of course they have a water line coming down up to the middle, and the water line will then pump into usually a water storage tank. So there's a little bit more that you know about wells, and hope you got a little bit out of it. It's completely different than what I thought, but it's great stuff to know. I'm Dick Keenan, Keller Williams Realty, the Keenan Carter Group, 805-773-7711.